center off of Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored!
From behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it! Wow! Edwards pulls up and buries the play! Shot for Darby!
All right, welcome into Friday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as, you know it, yes, the Twitter. As we are live, there we go, live coming to you on, yes, you can see it live on the X, the artist formerly known as Twitter at Diablo00, and my IG, Michael.Caratino.5, Pitchfork Lunchers. I know I remind you every day, but please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and any interviews you miss, like if you're watching, you're not going to miss it, but the one coming up, absolutely awesome. So go to YouTube, see my name, Michael Caratino. It's at Emmons and Michael, V's and Victory, C's and Cat 005 on YouTube, and subscribe away, because again, you are going to miss a lot. Also, we are now part of the family at the Casual Sports Radio Network, the best internet radio station out there, which you can go to every day, Monday through Friday, and click listen live. And guess what? You can hear the show live, Sun Devil fans, as you want to go all around Sun Devil Nation. We catch up with coaches, players, insiders, everybody. Go to www.ksrnaz.com and you get to the page, click listen live. I want you to watch, but don't drive and watch. I know you guys are smart enough to know that, so you can listen while you're on the way to lunch. And it's Friday, so you're probably headed out early to lunch anyway. And you can get caught up on Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Suns, Mercury, all there on KSRN. Again, Casual E hooking us up. But like I said, it's so awesome when you get to start to show off with the Coach Adair owed me an interview, but she sent the man who got promoted, because the head coach has always got to put out fire. He's the associate head coach, so he gets to hang around and hang out with me. Coach Darrell Mosley joined me, promoted to associate head coach after last season. Coach, man, thanks for taking the time and making your debut here on my wonderful Sun Devil Homer show, Pitchfork Lunch, man. Glad to have you on.
Glad to be on.
So, all right, I got to start with this, because obviously you coached. You've been with Coach Natasha Adair for a while. You guys come out from the East Coast, where the summers are, even though it's basketball, doesn't matter what the weather is outside, because it's always perfect in the gym, as we all know. That's why you guys picked hoops. It works out very well. No, but you come out to obviously Arizona, where it's maybe not humid, but it's scorching and hot. What was the transition like for you?
Well, Coach A loves warm weather. And so after winning the championship at Delaware, and, Arizona State reached out, and she came out here and interviewed and just, scoped out the area, she fell in love with it. And so when she decided to take this job, she FaceTimed me and was like, "Hey, are you coming with me?" And I said, "When do we start?" And so once I got out here, I was like, this place is beautiful. It's warm, but I prefer warm weather over that East Coast snow any day of the week.
Well, being originally from Jersey, I know people always say you don't have to shovel sunlight, Coach, but sometimes when it's over 100 in October, it makes me miss those maybe not snowy days, but those little colder days in the East Coast.
Yeah, you know the days to stay inside the air conditioner or the swimming pool, that's for sure.
100%. But let's get to the team. I know, obviously, like you said, when you come in and this day and age of the transfer portal, obviously new coaching staff comes in. You follow you guys follow a coach, and I talked to Coach Adair about this, like Charlie Turner Thorne, and she's done that before. I don't know why she's a magnet for it. I got to get to the bottom of that with her one of these days, Coach. But following somebody like, Charlie Turner Thorne, over 25 years, obviously, steps down and, retires. But when you come to ASU and now you have to kind of hit the ground, I always say everybody, says hit the ground running. But, Coach, it's truly a sprint because, with the transfer portal, some players are going to leave. But, hey, man, you got to recruit. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. You got to get out there. And you've dealt with it before, obviously, in your past. But what was that transition like in getting out there, getting recruits in, and not even so much that, but obviously, trying to retain the players that were here?
Well, it was late. It was honestly year one. It was a late hire. And like you said, we had to hit the ground running and kind of we caught the back end of the transfer portal. A lot of the top prospects that were in were already committed to other schools. And so just kind of had to tap into our relationships, the AAU coaches, junior college coaches, to kind of see in year one, what was left available for us to bring. We got caught, bringing in a couple grad seniors because, they're kind of easier to get admitted. But it's only a kid you have for a year. And so just literally when we showed up, 3 players. It was 3 players here. And so we're looking at in 4 months, we got to put a team together to be able to play some games. And so our staff did a phenomenal job, just like I said, tapping into our resources and our relationships, and was able to put a team together. Wasn't our most dominant team that we probably could build in such short time, but it was respectable enough to be able to at least play games. 2 of them being canceled our year one because we didn't even have enough to play. And so just kind of had to get through that hurdle and then kind of graduated some, but just kind of getting on the road. I'm going to a lot of AAU events. Like I said, building connections, and then, having Ty Skinner come with us from Delaware, was able to promote her based off of what she did in year one, showing that if you're a really good guard, you love to play up tempo, you like to play a 4-out 1-in style of play. She had success in year one. It didn't account to a lot of wins, but individually you can sell that to other guards, other prospects that just need that opportunity to showcase what they can do. And so she's one that came in and flourished in the Pac-12, and now just trying to find other diamonds in the rough that, went to other schools, especially when we're talking transfer portal, that didn't play a lot of minutes or, didn't like their situation there. Well, we got a lot of minutes to play here. So come join our program, come join our team. We're big on development, and we care about our players. And so it's a win-win situation for both parties.
Yeah, and you mentioned, obviously, having to unfortunately cancel some games because not having enough players, which, I mean, in this day and age, I mean, even, all time, people are like, wait, what? Like, that just hits you from the blind side. But you bring up Ty, and obviously, like you said, she came in, her and Jaden Simmons, I mean, played so well off of each other. Last year, as everybody knows, I mean, it was one thing on top of another, but it's frustrating because she's out with the injury. Yep. And, and talking to Coach Adair about this, and you obviously being, I mean, you played point guard, you get it. But getting her back, yes, the leadership part, like you say, I know absolutely huge. What she can do on the court, huge leadership part. But a lot of times last year, it just seemed like, and I know as coaches, I've always said it, man, once you go from player to coach, man, you guys really do know how to change your demeanor because fans, our emotions are on our sleeves in the stands.
Absolutely.
But it just seemed like the rebounding, I know, and coach hit that after every game. Man, we got to rebound. Like they're giving the effort. You got to get the rebound. But from the offensive side, as a point guard, Ty Skinner keeping the ball moving. And I know when I asked that question to coaches, my friends were like, do they think you're a moron? Obviously, Captain Obvious, but you get it. You're a point guard. I mean, sometimes just with certain things, the ball doesn't, not that it stops moving, it just doesn't flow as well. Speak to what Ty can do with that. And then obviously we'll get to the transfers you brought in, but the importance of obviously keeping the ball moving, within the offense. Yes, so we always get, if you got the open shot, take it, but making that extra pass. Ty's importance to that because there were spurts of that for you offensively. I could see I'm paying attention. I can see your guys' excitement on the bench, but other times the ball's not moving and you're just like, keep the ball moving.
Right. Well, like I said, Ty played a pivotal year for us, in year one when we were here because it was just, she's a talented guard. And, like I said, our team wasn't as strong. And so we relied heavily on her to be a scoring threat and just kind of be that vocal leader and leader on the ball. And so when you're able to put players around her going into year 2, and then Ty goes down, that kind of like, now we got to revamp how we're going to play, because one, our leader, our leading scorer is not on the floor. And so we're just looking for people to have that aggressive scoring mentality that Ty had. But like you said, some people got to want to score the ball, so we can move the ball all season long. But at the end of the day, the ball has to go in the hoop. And so I felt like last year we had a couple people that stepped up, but kind of have more of a defensive minded team, and nobody was willing to step up and kind of be that offensive threat. And so kind of having the people we brought in last year that can step up and hit an open shot, get the ball inside, it came down to very close games where we just needed that extra point or that bucket or somebody with confidence that can step up and make a play. And so you felt that not having Ty on the floor last year, also instilling confidence in her teammates. And so just kind of having her back along with, some of the new additions, I think we're very excited about having a balanced team where we can go inside. We have some post players that can finish inside, and we have some guards that can make plays, and we have some lineups where we can be a defensive lineup. So I think we can play a little different this year with us having a full roster and a healthy team, knock on wood.
Right. I know. Absolutely. And look, when I asked that, because I talked about it last year. I remember talking to coach. It's not like it's, you're down with interest, and you're right. Everybody's stepping up. They're defensively. And I always hear coaches say, like, hey, if it's not going in offensively, the one thing you can control is the defensive effort. Like, get down there, make it annoying for them, as you well know. But, and like I said, when I asked that question, it's not like it wasn't giving effort. It's like they're trying, but it's like, and to a point, because, and like you say, Ty relieves that, but to a point too, like then everybody, when they get the ball, feels like, oh man, we got to score. We got to score now. Like I got to and then it's like, okay, you're playing team ball, but you're not. Move the ball, like trust yourselves.
Absolutely.
And like you said, it's always like you can't spell, like they always say, you can't spell fanatic without fan. And everybody is an armchair coach. They're undefeated. They're an armchair GM. They have the perfect team. And so it's one of those things. But yeah, let's talk about some of these new players. I mean, Kennedy Basham, obviously one of the players, and Heavenly Greer both kind of coming back home. And again, this day and age has changed. Like you have to, I've heard coach say, a lot of coaches say, you still have to, almost re-recruit your team, but look at what's out there in the transfer portal. But to get a domino falling like Kennedy, and then, Heavenly coming home to kind of revamp, this team and the vision that you guys have as a coaching staff, what have they been like working with in practice? And how obviously it takes a second to build chemistry, as but what's that been like? And for Kennedy and Heavenly, you got to think, they're pretty happy that they're back home.
Absolutely. Well, starting with Heavenly, being at 2 other schools, kind of, was Oklahoma first, and then recently Kansas State. Just kind of playing for 2 different coaches and style of play. Just kind of seeing, where she fit in with them, and then kind of looking at our style of play and how big we are in development. She felt like, I can come in and help what you guys are trying to build, but most importantly, do it at home. And so she's been excited to be home. She's anticipating, almost 20 members from her family being at game 1 on Monday. So she's just excited. She's been working extremely hard, and she's been a pleasure to coach. She wants to be better. She wants to be coached, and she wants to be a perfectionist. And so it's good to have high energy players with great character on the team. Kennedy, same. She was one that kind of shocked us all. Everybody was shopping around to try to get her. Flying her out for visits. And, once she came on her visit with us, she was able to see some of her friends and family on campus. But we made it feel like home, because it is home, but how we coach, and again, the development side of things, she wanted to expand her game. And so, I don't want to just sit in the corner and just be considered a 6'7" shot blocker. I want to work on my post moves. I want to be able to work on my mid range. I want to be able to, work on stretching the floor from beyond 3. I want to play at the next level. And so to get to the next level, I can't be a one-dimensional player. And so how we play and the type of post players that Coach Adair has produced for the next level, it was an easy sell for her. And she shocked us all, just walking in one day to practice and was like, I'm coming home. And so we were very excited about that.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I mean the career I know she had here locally, and then obviously going to Oregon. I got to ask you the easy one though. It's kind of great because I know that they talked about it when we were out there a little bit back. But when Ty and Kennedy are standing next to each other, that's that's opposite ends of the spectrum. So as a team had their fun with that. We got to know.
Oh, they did, especially on the visit. You just had to see their TikTok they did. And Ty, knowing the importance of the success she wants to have and getting to the next level, she knows she needs help. And she knows we struggled inside with just rebounding and an inside presence. And so once Kennedy Basham came on her visit, Ty was looking up, was like, we need you here. We need you. And so, just seeing her talking and through the recruiting process, during the photo shoots, they're taking photos together, and Ty is just looking up to her, and they're doing TikToks, and it was just kind of like so funny to see because she's so tall, and Ty is like at her hip, and it was just like, wow, this is gonna go viral pretty soon. But yeah, Ty was the biggest fan to say, look, we need you here, we want you here. Let's put this all together and win some ball games. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and I remember Kennedy talking about it. I remember kidding around with Coach when we were out at Weather Up, saying that I remember that old I want to say it was the old photo with like Muggsy Bogues and Manu Bowl.
That's a great comparison.
Everybody just like you think of this certain things, and it's like, but that's. But I mean, okay. So obviously you've had some time. You guys have been in the gym. I know you had a close scrimmage, right?
Yes.
You guys had a close scrimmage against Gonzaga?
Yes.
Nice. So you get, I know, we're not giving away trade secrets, but I mean, for something like that, how did it go? I mean, obviously teams action, you finally get to, everybody in every sport, we know, obviously you played too. It's great to see somebody else in a different jersey, but how did that go? Just your thoughts.
Oh, I thought it went very well. We strategically, wanted to play seasoned veteran teams, Gonzaga being a team who went to the Sweet 16 last year. So, some programs can just stack their scrimmages and their exhibition games with Division II schools or, teams that aren't really that good. We wanted an early test to see where we were really at, and we competed well with a seasoned Gonzaga team. So a couple things we can go back and tweak on watching film, but we were very proud of our effort, defensive rotations, rebounding. We've been stressing we got to have 40 plus rebounds a game, and we got to that 40 plus rebound mark in that scrimmage. And so just checking all boxes of goals that we want to set for the season. And no better way to do it against a seasoned veteran team, because you're going to see this type of competition all year, especially when you get into conference play. And so I think we battled up very well.
Right. Before you look ahead to Monday too, and you say conference play, I mean, and I've said this to Coach, I mean, obviously going through the Pac-12 like you guys have the last few seasons, very challenging, very tough. I mean, top to bottom, year after year, it was a very deep conference. Now you head into the Big 12, and it's like, okay, like you've seen that new sites, a little bit different competition. And what's kind of your overall thought, your guys' overall thought as a staff, and like attacking it, excitement, stuff like that, because obviously getting to go to new venues, but just the challenges that you'll face, but how being in the Pac-12, obviously, like you were, can help with that.
Well, definitely competing in the Pac-12 arguably was the best conference the last 2 years. When you look at top 25 opponents, Pac-12 had 7-8 teams in the top 25. And so it was never for us being a new program and a new staff taking over this program, you walking into the gauntlet, because you're playing a top 25 opponent almost every night. It was never a night off. And so just being able to see a different style of play, I thought Pac-12 was a very well-coached league, very systematic, and so we now had to transition how we recruit, because I think the Big 12 is a different style of play. And so I think we were starting to learn the system and the identity of the Pac-12, and then it's like, boom, you're going Big 12. And we're just like, all right, this is more of a athletic, bruiser, dominant type league, maybe quicker pace. And so, some of the prospects we were looking at for Pac-12, we was like, can they defensively guard? Could they, play as physical in the Big 12? And so I think we had to switch up our mindset and style of play for the type of kids we were looking at. And so I know going into the offseason, Coach Adair was like, don't bring me no guards. Nobody bring me no guards until we sign 2 to 3 bigs. And so that was our goal. We looked at high school and transfer portal, and we signed 3 bigs and then transitioned to some guards after that. And so coach was like, all right, we signed enough post players, and now it's time to go get some guards.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's interesting because I mean, you always hear, during the season, oh, playing a balanced game, but every time you get to the tournament, always hear all that as well. How good is your guard play? Because the better your guards are, the further you'll go in the tournament. Your time is obviously, I mean, a head coach for 6 seasons at Lincoln, and then I mean, you're assistant coach on the men's side, the head coach on the women's side. Obviously, coaches pass when you get to be a head coach, you have goals, but then to come and be an assistant coach, what's kind of the back and forth with that? Because I got to think in one way it's an advantage because you see like what obviously head coaches have to deal with, so you might want to make it easier for the head coach. But in your journey, what's kind of made this like the right fit for you right now? And obviously I know you aspire to be a head coach, but what makes this the right fit right now for you, Coach?
Well, it was an easy transition to go work for Coach Adair at Delaware. She had a winning program. She was coming off of being coach of the year. I was coming off of being coach of the year. So COVID happened and it forced Division II to shut down. And coming off the height of my career. And so it was just like, if I'm going to leave to go Division I, I want to go work for somebody that I have a relationship with that's winning. And so to go work for a winning coach, I went in with the mindset of, I know I've been winning, I've been dominating at my level. What can I learn from Coach Adair and her program, because they've been successful already. And so when you join somebody's staff that's already been successful, you're kind of that sponge. You're processing things that you don't know, different terminologies. It's 1,000 ways to teach and coach the game, but everybody does things differently. And so just taking away what I can take for myself and adding to my coaching philosophy that, she taught differently. She taught defensives differently. She taught just closing out on shooters differently, labeling shooters differently. And so I'm just like, this is pretty unique. This is something I've never heard or terminology before. So just taking in that mindset of there's 1,000 ways to learn it. And so there's different ways to be successful. And so sometimes you just kind of take a seat back and learn, but then also when your number's called or your name is called on a certain situation, hey, I need these type of plays, or this is what this team is going to do. I can make those recommendations or experiences that, I had to deal with certain things like that. Or just even management of the team. Like, hey, I've dealt with this in my career before, and just provide suggestions, and her being the head coach, she can say yeah or nay. And so just being that valuable voice or support, sometimes head coaches just need support and not feeling like they're on the island by themselves. And I certainly knows what that feel like because I've been a head coach. And so sometimes it just be a good listening ear, when the head coach have to deal with administration, compliance, deal with our entire staff, sometimes you just need somebody to vent to and just be able to have somebody to talk to. And so just being that listening ear for coach and just give, positive feedback and just suggestions, sometimes suggestions can go a long way. And so we work well together. We have phenomenal chemistry together, and that was made it important for me to go work with her. It made the transition easy because we had a relationship outside of coaching already. And so once I joined her staff, it was just like joining family.
Right. All right. So, all right, a lighter one. Who's the best prankster on the coaching staff, or is she a pretty good prankster, or do you pull the best ones?
I probably would say that was probably me. I'm kind of, I can be pretty comical on the staff, or they always say Coach Mosley's crazy. He's crazy. But I try to keep everybody laughing and keeping the tension low. So a good laugh is always needed.
So you can keep them light and laughing. And if something is kind of going awry, I'm sure the eyes then go to you first, like, oh, coach is pulling a prank on somebody.
Well, I got some of the girls yesterday for Halloween.
All right, let's hear it.
I snuck downstairs with my Joker mask as they were coming out of the locker room. But we all had a mask on yesterday going into film, and so as the girls were coming out the locker room, they were, oh, what's going on? And so we caught them off guard a little bit. So
nice, that's awesome. Hey, at least I saw one of LaMelo Ball got freaked out, punched a blow up clown. Did you see that one?
I saw that, and that was a really good one. I actually thought somebody was inside it. So when he smacked
I
it,
was like,
I'm
oh,
like,
man.
he hitting somebody in the face, and then he followed up and smacked it again and knocked it down. So I was like, oh, that's good. That is just like a robot or something, because I thought somebody was really getting their head knocked off.
Yeah, I was like, good God. Yeah, I don't know. People are afraid of clowns.
A couple of the features from yesterday.
Look at man. I like that. See, it can be scary. It can be simple, but still be very scary. And when somebody's not ready, it's even worse. Let's talk schedule though, because obviously, and look, I know I always tease Coach. I know it's one game at a time, but when the schedule first comes out and you see obviously who's coming here, Big 12 stuff, I know. And again, it needs to be one game at a time. But at the same time, you look at it. I mean, just your kind of thoughts when you saw some of the trips you'll be taking. Looking at the Big 12 schedule, a little excitement, and I know not, like I said, looking too far ahead, but still got to be exciting to look at it.
Oh, very excited. Like I said, with us transitioning to Big 12, we got to do our homework now. We're already starting to watch film on certain opponents. Coach does a good job giving out each coach a schedule, a scout, so you know which teams you got to get prepared for. And so best believe we're looking ahead. We don't want to look too far ahead because we still got non-conference, but some of the good trips we're excited about. This year, Coach wanted to make sure we did an East Coast swing with a lot of our staff being from the East Coast. Most importantly, we have 4 players from that DMV area. And so we wanted to get home and get them back home in front of their friends and family. And so we were able to schedule a game with Coppin State in Baltimore on December 5th. And then we're planning a Coaches versus Racism event on December 7th, which will be played at the Washington Mystics Arena. And so 2 games where they can play back at home, should be televised. Still waiting to hear from the network, but that's 3 games in one day. So a great Saturday where people could come out and enjoy 3 college games, and a lot of local AAU teams and coaches and friends and family can just come out and enjoy a day of basketball. Always good to be able to play against, in-town rival GCU. We're playing them at the Footprint Center. And so to be able to play in yet another NBA, WNBA arena, that's one we're looking forward to. But just, all of our games, having a couple more home games this year, the Breon January Classic, bringing Oregon State to that, setting up that home-and-home agreement, so keeping that Pac-12 relationship alive a little bit, and having SMU and teams like that joining us at our own tip-off classic here, and then, getting ready for, Big 12. And so we're excited about, our opportunities to play against some of these upper echelon teams that are nationally ranked. And, we want to get there one day. We got to play the best, and we got to beat some of these teams that are ranked. And so it's good to have one on our team in the non-conference with Kentucky. But once we get ready for conference play, we're going to see, a lot of top 25 opponents.
Absolutely. And then, look at that. And you hit it there. The matchup against GCU, I know, coming up on the 14th, like you said, that's again, Coach Van Neal talked about it in volleyball, just like, having that playing the crosstown. Fans are obviously there, the atmosphere, but let's look at, Jacksonville State. No, like I said, no giving away trade secrets, but you have the longest time, obviously, once the schedule comes out, to get ready for the first team. But Jacksonville State, just kind of your guys' thoughts, early thoughts, just what fans can expect for Monday night. What kind of challenges do they present, and what are you looking to throw at them?
Oh, Jacksonville State's a seasoned team. They got a lot of returners coming back. So a lot of key contributors that started last year or came off the bench and gave good minutes. And so not looking over any opponent lightly. They're a team that's going to do a lot of dribble drive. They're going to try to attack you off the dribble and get to the free throw line. And so I think we picked up our defensive intensity in practice, knowing that, we got to guard people off the bounce. We got to close gaps on our perimeter, and our post players got to be there to change shots and get rebounds. We can't let teams get second and third chance attempts. And so just holding teams to one shot, securing a rebound and starting our break. We want to play up-tempo style of play, but it starts with getting that defensive stop first. And so once we get that rebound, we're looking to push it at them, and we want to attack off the dribble as well and get the ball inside and get to the free throw line. And so I think our fans should be looking forward to high energy, a lot of anticipation on defense, a lot of rebounds. Like I said, we got that 40-plus rebounds, so a 40-plus rebound team, getting the ball inside and out, and, us getting hot from three. And so that's what we're anticipating. That's what we're working towards to get ready for Monday.
Well, I'm excited to get out there finally on Monday for, I'm sure as you guys are too, for a regular season game, because I know practice is as important as they are, I'm sure, for even I know players, but coaches at some point it feels a little long, like, man, we just want to play somebody. But Coach, hey, thanks for jumping in. You can go play a prank on Coach. Coach, she I'll come out to practice and record one because she owes me an interview now. But you stepped up. That's what an associate head coach does. So hey, I appreciate.
That's what I'm here for, and we all lean in when it's needed. But coaches, getting ready and amped up for Monday, and we have a recruiting town right now that coach is tending to, and so just meeting with administration. So I'm just trying to land some prospects and get ready for Monday as well.
Like they say, recruiting. I mean, I know they say the quote unquote dead periods, and that's from talking, but it never stops for you guys. I know that.
Never stops.
It is awesome. Well, Coach, I will see you Monday. Hey, man, thanks again. Look, I appreciate it. You jumping in here to Pitchfork Lunch, and we'll see you Monday against Jacksonville State.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Great platform, by the way.
Thank you. Man, look at that. Coach Mosley jumping in. You got to love it, man. Like I say, when you go from a head coach and your assistant, it's all a path, but it's still knowing the game. And they always say the smartest coaches will surround themselves with with other great coaches, because, again, you build a program, you build everything up. So we're going to take a quick break, though. When we get back, we are going to we'll talk a little bit more about the schedule. Is very exciting. Also, volleyball, you may have heard about this team. Yeah, they're ranked 13th in the country. Football, they're headed to Stillwater as they're taking on Oklahoma State. A little golf update, too, as well. But we'll take a break, and when we get back, we'll, again, talk a little bit more about what Coach was talking about, Coach said, and again, get into volleyball. Yeah, they're pretty good. Just in case you were wondering. All that coming up here on Pitchfork Lunch.
From Middleton, Idaho, Francis from Southern.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always laying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Slide to Strong, off to Cromartie. Kept alive. This is for set point. Cromartie, oh, just tips. Had no block up. Little. Oh, Sear keeps it alive. What a play. Cromartie. Little, where's this ball going? Back to Little, of course. Cross court for the kill. 23-22. Good defense by both teams there. Short, junior from Middleton, Idaho. Transferred from Southern Utah. She was close to the line there. Little with another one, set point, ASU. He only needs two in a row here.
And very strong.
Jillian Neal has an ace. Low and flat. It's BYU out of system. Little trying to make up for it. Yeah! No. Set point 2 for ASU. For the set. Yeah! ASU wins. BYU will challenge, however.
Not a lot of jumping
or
approaching.
We're on to the next. We're on to the next play. And that is swinging on the right side. Look at Kemavor and then Schroll. Sear giving something hittable. Schroll puts it over. Kemavor rises up. Oh, what a dig!
Oh, it's no one there!
No one was there. Okay, first off, Sear makes a great play to keep it alive. Schroll gets over to it. Why wasn't anybody over there? Was Sear too tired to get to that? She was near it.
I don't know, but knowing Schroll, everyone on the court knew she was going to pop that ball up.
It wasn't near her, yeah, no. They're really good. Off the block. Schroll got that up. Man, she flies around. Cromartie. Oh! Kemavor straight down.
With BYU really trying to establish those middles, as we see a great dig from Schroll, and then that transition from Kemavor, she gets up so. I think that sugar high.
Yeah, it's gone. This is near the line, strong, trying to put it down. Boone was right there. Real low from Marty. Strong. Ping ponged around, pushed over. Bauer to Mortensen, Schroll underneath. Back row attack for Sear! As little. That one goes right into Uluabe. She says she's okay. Phil says, my bad. Sear just detonated this one. Look at that.
Well, you look at the block for BYU. Nobody.
No. Tough. The sophomore from Warren, Utah, Mountain View High School. Here, made up by Morrison. Quick to little. Slow. Real quick to Sear. Better. After the deflection. Kemavor, not a clean strike again. Off the block, Miller. Off the batter. The set over Schroll, a diving step. Oh! Ooh, kind of tweak the ankle there for a second as Sear goes into the net. Point BYU. ASU was confused. They thought it was BYU into the net.
I think they're going to challenge.
Yeah, we're going to talk volleyball as yes, they did get that win. You saw the defense there. No, they didn't get every point. But that being said, BYU won some of those points. Look how hard they're working for those points. Like, this team is now, as we know, 21-2 overall. Yes. They are 21-2 overall, and 9-1 in conference play, and they played their first 5-setter against number 20 BYU. That is the first time they have went to 5 sets this year. BYU has lived in 5-setters. They dropped quite a few. They've won a few. But yeah, BYU has played a ton of matches in 5. And so, yeah, the Devils you saw in those highlights there, Pitchfork Lunchers took the first 25-23. BYU took the second 25-17, and then the third 25-23. ASU owned the 4th set 25-14, and then in the 5th, just flat out beat them to the finish line 15-7. So the Devils sweep the season series with BYU. And yeah, that to me, again, just absolutely phenomenal. You saw Mary Schroll there, the defense, even Jelly Sear, Bryn Koval. It's just, even if other teams get points, it goes longer and longer. And these players have talked about it. It's been, again, just absolutely awesome. But I am Michael Carrasino at Diablo00 on X, or formerly known as the Twitter. See the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, Michael.Carrasino.5. The YouTube channel, see Michael Carrasino, but go to M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. And you can also, listen live on the Casual Sports Radio Network, www.ksrnaz.com. But yeah, those listening, I brought you back in with and you heard the calls there from volleyball, and from last night. And yeah, Mary Schroll's dig. Check this out. I'm gonna yeah, this is crazy because we pick it up, and for those of you listening, going cross court. Look at the eyes for those watching. Look at the eyes.
You see it in the replay. Look the ankle there for a second as Sear goes into the net. Like BYU. ASU was confused. They thought it was BYU into the net.
I think they're going to challenge.
Yep, they're challenging.
Look at Schroll.
They're challenging net.
I mean, great up for
eye contact, trying to pop it up. Her obviously hand arm in between court and the ball. I mean, that is just phenomenal. Well, no, it looks even better, but look. I mean, it looks even more insane. But just look at absolutely crazy the talent that Darrell's having, especially Mary Schroll. But look at that.
They're challenging net.
And a great up for Schroll.
Up their teammate going against them as Sear was in the net here there. But nonetheless, like this defense is just sick. I mean, you take the first, you drop the second and third, and then you take the fourth and fifth. And I mean, Claire Jeter heard earlier in the season, like, yeah, we're too old. We don't want to go to 5 sets. But in their first 5-setter of the season, look at that. They take care of business. Yeah, BYU. BYU, again, like I said, has been there a ton. They have been there a ton, and I can tell you how many times. They've had coming in. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 7. They had 7 5-set matches coming in to playing ASU, and they beat Utah in 5 at home in Provo. Most recently, they lost to TCU in 5. Before that, they had lost to the team down south in 5, and then they beat Utah State in 5 earlier in the season, lost to Oregon in 5, and then lost to USD in 5, and then had lost to Georgia Tech before that in 5. So, yeah, I mean, they have lived in the 5th set and, fell to ASU there. And you look at it, I mean, 64 kills, 8 aces last night, 8 more for the Devils, 9 blocks, 62 assists, 69 digs. I mean, it's just Shania Cromartie ended up leading the team. Ended up leading the team. Yes, speak calmly and speak normal, right? With 16 kills, Jelly Sear tacked on 15. Savannah Cohetti had 12. Aces, Jeter had 2. Jillian Neal had 2. Mary Schroll had 1. Blocks. Savannah Cohetti, who had 12 kills, also had 6 blocks. Argentina Un with 5 blocks. Jelly Sear with 2 assists. Argentina Un with 56. Mary Schroll with 3. Bryn Koval with 2 digs. Both Schroll and Sear 19 digs apiece, and Cromartie goes 10 digs. So double doubles for Cromartie, Sear, for Cromartie and Sear. And Yeah, Argentina Ung had she had 1 kill. She had 56 assists, 9 digs. She was right there. But yeah, Mary Schroll, 19 digs. Shania Cromartie, 10 digs, 16 kills. Jelly Sear, 19 digs, 15 kills. 15 kills. Yeah, just insane. Absolutely. I mean, and again, when you look at, and now for the season with those 8 aces, here we go. I'm telling you, with those 8 aces, they now have 1,000, or no, that's assists. Sorry. They now have 136 aces for the season. So that is 5 sets, 1 on aces alone. 1 match plus 2 more sets of aces alone. I mean, that is insane. And their opponents have 64. I mean, it is just phenomenal. And then when we look at digs, I mean, it's a team that has 1,282 digs to their opponents 1,117, but Mary Schroll 391, approaching 400. Jelly Sear 220. Argentina Ung. Oh yeah, not only do I have a gazillion assists, I have 197 digs. And Coach Van Neal said it, guys, 2 weeks ago. This ASU volleyball team is absolutely insane. Like, saying, he's like, I don't remember you being such a good defensive player when I saw you at Washington State. And he said her response was just, I know. But I mean, you saw some of the action there. Again, they win it in 5. Going back, watching the match last night, again, absolutely awesome. Forks up to them. By the way, forks up to Coach Mosley for joining us, the associate head coach of the women's basketball team, talking about obviously his journey, but the team and where they're at. And I mean, transfers they've brought in and exciting, and going up against Gonzaga in a close scrimmage. Absolutely awesome. So I want to digress to that. But yeah, I mean, the volleyball team 21-2. And yeah, I mean, 9-1, not 13 winning percentage, undefeated at home, 9-0, 6-2 away, and 6-0 on neutral sites. So now Utah coming up next. That'll be tomorrow at 1 p.m. So a 9-match win streak now for the Devils, trying to see if they can hit double digits and go to 10 before they face off. Next Wednesday will be insane. 7 p.m. Mullet Arena, Kansas in the house. But got to get through number 22 Utah first. Kansas is number 9 right now, as we saw. So you beat number 20, 22, and 9. I'm sorry, other teams. Sorry, not sorry, because again, in the number, it takes care of himself. But they have no bad losses this year. They showed a graphic last night during the game, and it's crazy to me. Like, they literally have what's classified, I guess, as a bad loss. So if you lose to an unranked team, or I don't think a ranked team would be a bad loss, but which it's not, because they had lost to Baylor, and that's not. They lost to Nebraska and Baylor. No bad losses for this team, however that metric is measured. So you guys know me. You guys know me. But yeah, no bad losses for this team. So, I mean, that's just, again, absolutely phenomenal. 21-2. Rolling forward, and just as a unit, I mean, like Roberta Habel has been coming, off the bench. She came in yesterday's match and is just, that extra on the court, but the defense, the way they play when they're on the court together, it's perfect. It's a perfectly choreographed dance because, again, moving in unison. You saw Mary Schroll, run down that one ball, was popped up. She dove. I mean, flies through the air, like just does not. It doesn't matter. She's going to get to it. And Argentina Un was there and just couldn't get over to the again, your momentum taking you away from the net. That's another thing too in volleyball. No matter how, high up you go, when you're flying away from the net, trying to punch the ball over, either you're going to crush it, either, you're not trying to crush it to where it goes crazy far away, way out of bounds. And then, crush it crazy far to where it goes way out of bounds, or, not to, like, you kind of pop it straight up, but so you have your momentum taking you away from the net and sending it back, like, just, again, insane, absolutely insane. I gotta say that. Also, by the way, I definitely wanted to get to golf, because women's golf, man, Coach Missy Farquet, they wrapped up in at the Nanea tournament in Hawaii. They wrapped up yesterday. They finished second, kids. 17 under. They were 11 under after round one. They shot one over in the second round, so they were 10 under after 2 rounds. In the third round, Wednesday, sorry, today's Friday. In the third round, they shot 7 under. I mean, this is insane. Like, Stanford was 26 under, so they were 9 shots off of Stanford. But you figure round one, they were 2 shots back from Stanford, right? Stanford was 13 under. Again, phenomenal team. Group. Stanford was 13 under. The Devils were 11 under. 2 shots back. Round two, well, Stanford went one way, and ASU, again, not bad, just shot 1 over. Okay, you'll take that. But Stanford went 5 under, so they're 18 under after 2 rounds, and the Devils are 10 under. And then Stanford got him a shot last round. Stanford was 8 under in round 3. The Devils were 7 under. Like I said, absolutely phenomenal. For Missy Farquet, when you look at the leaderboard, Isla McDonald O'Brien finished tied for 6th at 6 under. She was 6 under after round 1, 8 under after round 2, and shot a 2 over in round 3, which, again, I'm not saying 2 over, like, just, again, a beautiful course. And she tied for 6th. And then Paula Schultz Hansen tied for 9th, and she was 5 under. She shot 3 under, and then on the opening round, and then 1 under in rounds 2 and 3. So yeah, Megan Gane from Stanford was 9 under to win it, and then Farrah O'Keefe at Texas and Gane's teammate Meha Ortengren finished second at 8 under. But yeah, for the Devils, that's, Isla McDonald O'Brien, phenomenal. And then Paula Schultz Hansen as well. Patience Rhodes, she jumped up 7 spots in the last round. She finished tied for 12th at 3 under. So she was even. She shot 2 under in round 1, 2 over in round 2. You go to the final, your third round, well, you're even par. Where are you going? And she shot 3 under. So she's tied for 12th for the Sun Devils. And then Grace Summerhays, had a hell of a final round too. She shot even par round 1, and then shot 3 over in round 2, but then went 2 under in round 3. So absolutely phenomenal there. Forks up, man. Yeah. So absolute forks up to that. But yes, football tomorrow, you guys know at 4 p.m. It's on regular Fox, by the way. Fox 10. It was Fox Sports 1, 4 p.m. So you're listening, you're watching. 4 p.m. It's on Fox Sports 1. And you can check it out there. Channel 10, local, 4 p.m. Oklahoma State. Let's see what they do. Heard from coaches this week, heard from players. Oklahoma State looking for that first Big 12 win. Let's not give it to them. I say the Devils win, though. And again, I say the Devils win coming off the bye. They fall. They beat. They fell to 5-2. But I say I'm going to go. I'm going to go 37 17. Devils win. 37-17 Devils. You heard it here. So I'm going to get out of here. And like the volleyball team always says, hashtag our state as they play tomorrow, 1 p.m. ESPN Plus against Utah. Check it out. But I will see you Monday. Again, recap of a lot. Everybody have a phenomenal rest of your weekend. And yes, you guys know it. As always, hashtag our state. Thanks to volleyball for that one. And you know it. Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blake Baker, Bubba will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's a late double trap. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
For a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards